Welcome to Dental Revenue Live, Dental Revenue's informational podcast. I am your host, Bill Mulcahy, and today will be our last episode of 2019. So I thought I would do a little something different.
So for today's call, I've invited our our management team here at Dental Revenue, and what we plan to do today is just kind of explain to you what we've done in 2019 and what we're planning on doing in 2020. Every person on this call is a manager level, has been with us for a long period of time, engages with clients on an everyday basis, and it'll give you some good insight on just what we got going on over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just give you kind of introduction of who's on the call and a little bat of background. And then once we've done those introductions, what I'm going to do next is just really take you through a couple questions and ask these guys what they have going on, because it's all great stuff. And I think it'll be very helpful for you as you start to think about, okay, what am I going to do in 2020? What should I be focusing on? And how can I make the most out of the dental revenue program, whether I'm a current client or I'm thinking about being a client. So first on the call, we have Brian Burns, and he's the owner and founder of Dental Revenue. He's officially now the CEO, but if you're a client, you probably know Brian is very hands-on. Aside from what he does from a management perspective, he works closely with our clients. He gets into sales, marketing, the everyday aspects of performance, billing, and really the overall strategic direction of the company. Say hi, Brian.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here.
Awesome. So next we have Kelly McGee, who's the Director of Internet Marketing for Dental Revenue. She's one of the team members that has been with us the longest. She's actually been here the entire time. She's in charge of creating overall awareness for our clients and really helping their programs perform. So Kelly, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Great. And then next we have Nancy. Nancy also has been with the company since the beginning. She's the Director of Production, and she wears many hats within the company, but really she is in charge of the website piece, the content development, and the overall brand building of our clients. So once we drive awareness or create awareness for our clients within our programs, and people start to visit the website, it's very important that website then connects with the visits that come to the website and creates opportunity. And really that's where Nancy and her department come into the overall process. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what she has to say today. So say hi, Nancy.
Hello, everyone.
Great. So next we have Kevin Gallagher, who's the President of Operations. He's also a longtime leader of Dental Revenue. And aside from handling kind of the day-to-day aspects of the internal dental revenue, he's very engaged with our clients. He works as the manager of several accounts for a long time. And he is also basically in charge of all of our dashboard projects. So what he's going to be discussing today is kind of the evolution of our dashboard, the release of our new dashboard, and really some of the things we can expect in 2020. So Kevin, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Perfect. And Ariel, you're last but not least, and she is our Director of Client Relations and Intelligence. She manages the day-to-day outreach, review calls, call scheduling, and the overall performance data that we collect day to day for our clients. So she's going to talk to us a little bit about how that works within our program and really helps our clients get the best possible results. So Ariel, why don't you say hello to everybody as well?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Perfect. And finally, if you don't know who I am yet, I introduced myself at the beginning, but my name is Bill Mulcahy. I'm the President of Sales and Marketing here. And aside from working with several of our clients as their account manager. I'm also in charge of new client sales and overall dental revenue brand awareness. So I'll even be giving you a little insight on some of our programs we have available to our clients for anybody that might want to refer a friend to us in 2020. So without further ado, let's start to get into the meat of this discussion and start to get some information from these great members of our team we have on the call. So Brian, I'm going to start with you. What I'd like to get is just the overall sort of sense of DR and kind of what we've done in 2019, some of the greatest accomplishments of the year, and just start to talk about the dental industry a little bit and our goals for 2020. So can you tell us a little bit about, some of the highlights of 2019?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Bill. So, for us, it's been, another exciting year. I mean, we've been in business now for 12 years. So, it's every year is really a new chapter in our business. And, we're excited to sort of close out 2019 and open a new chapter in 2020. Some of the accomplishments in 2019, just to go through some of them, we've grown our revenue nearly 20%, which it's been sort of a consistent growth number for the last 10 years or so. So we're really, really proud of that. We added a number of new staff members to support the growth, which is always exciting. We've added over 50 new top dental clients. Those clients are mostly fee-for-service, which is cosmetic and restorative dentists. Really excited to get those into our club, so to speak, our dental revenue club. Some of the other things we've done this year that the other members will talk about. We've launched our 7th version of the reporting dashboard. We've launched a new version of our website platform software that really powers a lot of our marketing. We've expanded our search engine optimization and our pay-per-click solutions to improve our ability to scale. And, really, and then also we've built out our client intelligence section of our internal tracking system to better improve performance and measure data. So that's just kind of like the top things, but some really exciting stuff, I think.
That's awesome. Well, what I'd like to ask you, as a follow-up really is how have the changes and what changes have you seen in the dental industry that have sort of driven our decisions, from a macro level at dental revenue and what do you see on the horizon with that and how that might affect dental practices on the web?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good question. I mean, we see a lot of, consolidation in the industry. Corporate dentistry is definitely making a big push into the market. I think we all see that, our dentists see that. But what we've seen, which is really exciting, is in a response to this, a number of our dentists, the fee-for-service dentists, are reacting to this change, and they're building out their own sort of smaller group dental practices. These are typically 3 to 5 locations. These practices offer a mix of services: general, cosmetic, and restorative, and even ortho. And this way, this practice then is kind of a one-stop shop. So, they can service all the dental needs for a particular patient, whether it's insurance driven or if it's fee-for-service driven. And we have found that this is a big change in the market. So you have, like I said, the corporate side corporate changes on one side, and then sort of these smaller group dental practices on the other side. And we tend to work with more of these 3 to 5 location practices because we and our dentists believe in, the quality of care, service, overall experience. And so the change in the market is, it's been good for our clients, and it's been good for us because we fit well with that smaller group dental practice. Again, it's very much about quality over quantity. As far as goals, for 2020 and sort of how we can keep evolving, we tend to operate about 6 months ahead of the year. So a lot of things I mentioned in the beginning have been in plan been in planning for some time. So we're really excited that they're ready for 2020. And, we want to continue to offer an evolving performance platform. We want to continue to offer the latest software, such as the dashboard and the website platform, because we're really excited about our ability to serve our dentists, and most of them are in the Northeast and the Southeast. We're getting much more focused on location, our ability to meet with our clients in person, our ability to understand their markets, our ability to tap into the intelligence for their market and connect it with our marketing and our website platform. We see all of this as very important. And I guess the final thing I'll say is, the clients we work with tend to be focused on quality of care and also their business. And these types of dentists are very focused on performance and growth, with high quality work and great customer service. And that's dental revenue. So it's been exciting for us to continue to find great dentists this year that fit that profile. And we certainly look forward to finding more in 2020 and beyond, because it really is to us all about quality, performance, customer service.
That's great. That's really good insight. And obviously, we've been at this now for a lot of years, and as we've evolved and grown over the years, I think it's fair to say we've become more niche around a specific type of dental practice or group dental practice. So I think the insight that you gave us and sort of the goals that you've set for our company have been right in line with what's best for our clients. So that's great. I appreciate that very much, Brian.
Great. Thank you.
So let's move to Kelly. And again, she is our director of internet marketing, and what that means to you as the client or prospective client is she is in her department are basically in charge of using our services to create awareness for our clients. And awareness is in the form of overall search engine rankings, presence throughout the web and other areas, but also the ability to generate visits and eyeballs on your website. So I'm going to ask her a couple questions about some of the things she does. It certainly isn't all of them, but from a technical standpoint, it's always good to hear what's going on in the industry. So, Kelly, you ready to answer some questions?
Sure. Yep.
All right, perfect. So let's talk about, kind of local rank and the evolution of that over the last couple of years and how businesses and dental practices can improve their local ranking.
Yeah. We definitely get a lot of questions from our clients in regards to how can we rank higher in the local map area of Google. And, as competition continues to increase, it definitely gets harder and harder for businesses to rank in that space. So it's important to understand the factors that Google placed on those rankings. The number one factor is relevancy. So it depends on, how well your listing matches to what someone is searching for, adding complete detailed business information so that Google better understands your business and it can match your listing to the relevant searches that people are performing. It also factors in distance. So how far is your, potential search result from the location term used in a search? And then it also is based on prominence. How well is your business known in your local area, online and offline? They take in a lot of factors like link building and articles and directories. So, within our program, we really do focus, help our clients focus on these local rankings and make sure everything is filled out very thoroughly. We make sure that your business hours are very accurate. We add photos to your listings to help give you more visibility. And also reviews is an extremely important factor. So, you hear a lot of people saying the more reviews that you have for your business, the more visibility you will receive. But there's more to that. We ask our clients to help us with, engaging with the reviews. important to not only respond to negative reviews, but also responding to the positive ones as well. So by doing all of these things, you can have a higher chance of outranking and getting more visibility and new patients into your practice.
Yeah, that's awesome and really, really good insight. And just for the people listening that may be like, okay, what is exactly local rank? If you're looking at a Google results page, it's really the listings that occur with the map. Now, Kelly, is it fair to say like it's a all things being equal type thing, and the reason why all these things are important is because Google is trying to differentiate one versus the other to create these listings or rankings?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that. I mean, the top three things, again, are the relevancy, the distance, and the prominence. And then following that, it's just important that a business engages within their listing to help them stand out more. There's a ton of factors that go into it, but if you're doing everything right, you're going to have a higher chance of beating your competition and gaining that business for your practice.
Awesome. Now, there's been a lot of sort of stuff going on with what used to be called Google AdWords, and now they're calling them Google Ads. And there's a lot of talk recently about responsive search ads. Can you tell us kind of what that is and some of the benefits of that and how we work that into our program?
Sure. So in 2019, this year, probably mid-year, Google Ads released responsive search ads as a beta test. And, General Revenue took advantage of that and started implementing the responsive search ads across all of our clients' programs and ad campaigns. And what these responsive search ads do is they allow you to show more text within your ads and deliver more messaging so that you can encourage a higher click-through to your ads. You can have multiple headlines, descriptions, and over time, Google will automatically test out different combinations and learn which combinations perform the best. So it adapts to the ad's content and closely matches potential customer search terms. And it can improve your campaign's performance. So you can have up to like 15 different headlines within your ads, 4 different descriptions, and they just rotate throughout delivery and deliver the best ad for that potential patient or client. And again, it helps increase the click-through rate and give you more traffic to your site at a lower cost per click, and hopefully increase the new patients that come in for your practice.
Yeah, and so I guess the bottom line in what you're saying is if they have a $500 budget with Google Ads, because of the responsive ads, because of some of the things that we've been able to implement over time, we can get the most out of that $500 than we've ever been able to get before. Is that kind of a good summary?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's a lot of machine learning as well. So it delivers the best ads tailored to the user's browsing history and their behavior. So again, it helps capture better quality visitors to your site. So you can drive traffic to a site all day, but if it's not generating the type of patient you're looking for, it's essentially a waste of money. So these new responsive ads actually help capture the right quality of patient that's actively looking for your service and is ready to schedule that appointment and come in and get services.
That's great. So one last question on the awareness side. I want you to talk a little bit about mobile, because mobile is really become an emphasis of Google, over the last couple years, but especially in the last few months, and specifically, mobile UX. I mean, what is that? For those that don't know that, and why is it so important?
Sure. So as most people know, people are spending more and more time exploring content on their mobile devices, and that's just going to continue to increase in 2020. So, and it's important to make sure, you're prepared for that. And, dental revenue has always stayed ahead of that curve by, years ago, we released our responsive websites that are catered to the mobile user experience, and they adapt based on the devices that you're searching on. But not only that, we've developed content and the user experiences that it requires for people searching on mobile. So, for example, we incorporate a lot of FAQs into the content. We make sure that our the calls to actions are very prominent. So people, when they're on their mobile devices, they're looking for stuff in a hurry usually. So our sites are built with that in mind. We've also recently built a new mobile view that we're going to implement throughout our websites going into 2020. And we take all the necessary steps to make sure our clients are prepared for mobile optimization and the user experience. Because Google is placing a higher emphasis now on the mobile user experience than the desktop. So if your site's not built for mobile user experience, there's a highly good chance that your rankings could decrease and your competition will take over.
And really, this to our clients is what the industry would call the SEO component of our program, right? This is about their organic rankings and how important mobile has now become to the ability to rank organically. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so SEO is a very, huge umbrella, but more and more that the SEO is moving into the mobile optimization. And so you have to really get inside the minds of people searching on devices and what they're looking for and getting into the behavior of what they're wanting to do. So again, it's delivering different content. That even goes into, voice search. A lot of people are searching through voice now. And so if you don't cater your content around that, you're just going to be missing out on opportunities. So, and we're always evolving, and in 2020, it's just going to continue to, we're going to continue to focus on mobile optimization above desktop, making sure that our sites score high for mobile optimization in Google's eyes. All of these things are a high priority for us moving into 2020.
Now that's really great stuff, Kelly. And one thing that I hope the listeners are starting to get a sense of is when we talk about the overall program, we talk about creating awareness and specifically creating awareness on the web and Google, it's not just about, the local rank or the Google ads or the search engine optimization, what your rankings are with that. It's about the evolution of things happening throughout the industry and having a team in place like your team to really stay on top of this and make the adjustments and changes and evolve as the industry evolves. So you guys have done a great job at that over the years, and I think that comes out very, very well in the answers you gave today. So I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome.
Perfect. So guys, hopefully you're starting to see how this call flows. And if you're a client and you've talked to myself or our account managers, you probably heard about the stages of online achievement and the stages of marketing achievement and how we try to move potential patients of yours through a process, basically creating awareness, getting them to choose you over other options, and then ultimately making sure that your office is able to convert the opportunity as it comes in. Kelly spoke a lot about the awareness side. Nancy now is going to kind of talk to us a little bit about the website side and kind of its role in making sure that you're chosen over the other options in your market. So Nancy, you ready for a couple questions?
I sure am. Go ahead.
Perfect. So first things first, why don't you kind of, we've been doing this for a long time and we've been building websites for dentists for 12 years. So, what changes have you seen on the website development process over that time? I mean, what can you share with our listeners that may give them some insight on how things have changed or evolved over the years?
Well, I'd say we've evolved the process of building a website somewhat dramatically. I've had the benefit and the pleasure as well of being with the company pretty much since the beginning. I've evolved into this role over time, but I've been able to see the progression of building a site, I don't want to say in a vacuum, but certainly building it separate from other departments and then moving it along to, the SEO team or the marketing team. And through the years, and as we've developed a focus and niched into the dental market, we've paid very close attention to the different parameters, to Google, to what they're looking for, to what makes a site work, to what makes a site work for a dentist, being different from an e-commerce site or other type of site. So we're very focused on this particular market, and we've developed a more than just a website. We've developed a performance platform for an entire program that we have built up around it. So as I try to explain to clients who are just coming on with us, what you see when you load your website on your desktop or your phone, it's just the user experience, which is very important. We pay close attention to that. We've developed some, what we think are unique designs that deliver a good user experience while still supporting what we know is important for all the elements that Kelly was just talking about, for search, for organic rankings, for mobile. Google is constantly changing their algorithm, frequently changing up what is important and what delivers the best organic rankings, and we pay very close attention to that in all departments, including production, so that we can support the rest of the program once the site is launched with a web product that is coded well, is using the latest tools to make sure that all the different factors that go into good organic rankings are part of our site in terms of tagging and metadata and and all that. So we really are constantly evolving that process and really seeing a big change in the last, I'd say, 5 to 6 years in how we integrate the website and the production into other departments within the company, so that when a website goes out the door, all departments in a sense have had a hand in it to make sure that it's it's the best we can do for the client as they get started with their marketing program.
Yeah, and I think a consistent theme throughout this whole call so far, and will continue through the rest of the call, I believe, is just the evolution of the industry, the evolution of dental revenue, and the evolution of our websites. I mean, one of the things I'll tell prospective clients a lot is when we first started, we were building a lot of custom websites for our clients, 100% custom. There was no other website that looked anything like the next website. But what we found over time is regardless of the aesthetic of the website, what the end game in this whole thing really is the ability to generate patients and revenue for our clients. And to do that, there has to be some predictability, right? And so time and energy and really a relentlessness is occurring throughout our entire company, but especially in your department, to really make sure that when these websites go out, they're able to connect with the traffic coming to it, and what Kelly's doing and her team's doing to make sure that the opportunity is generated. So, I think you guys do a wonderful job, and I appreciate it very much. So that's the overall. We talked about the aesthetics and the development of the website. I think one of the kind of lost arts to these websites, and one of the things that I talk to prospective clients about is a real value to our program, and kind of how we do it is the overall content. Why don't you speak a little bit about the content, how we kind of go about it, and how you believe it affects the overall performance of the site?
Sure. Well, there's a saying in SEO, and we, throw it around the office as well, that content is king. And as I try to explain to, new and current clients, Google doesn't look at pictures or watch videos. When the site is crawled, not only is the code, as we just talked about in terms of the build of the site and the technical aspects of the site is, not only is that important, but the content is important. And Google has continued to focus and drill down on the importance for organic rankings of what is deemed by their algorithm, by visitors. Repeated visits to a website gives it better authority, lets Google know, hey, people think that this site has great information in regards to what they're looking for. But original content. And we write all of our sites one by one. We understand dental concepts. We're not dentists by any stretch of the imagination, but we take the time to speak with clients personally, to reach out to them, to confirm that the content we're putting on the site is as accurate as it can be. Because we are focused on dental websites and we write for dentistry 5 days a week, we've become very versed in dental topics, in the techniques and technology of dentistry. And we work with clients to better understand, new, there are a lot of new areas of dentistry developing, sleep airway dentistry, treating sleep disorders, changes in how, bite disorders are being treated, new types of orthodontics, new types of technology for treating all sorts of dental problems. And we try to incorporate, as much of the sort of flavor of the practice and the message that the dentist, wants to get across, through the content, while also making sure that we are addressing all of the important SEO aspects, of writing, so that it serves the client well. So I think we do a good job of trying to balance those two very important pieces of building good content, from the homepage, all the way through the rest of the site. And we work as a team. The SEO team, is very involved in how we write content and paying attention to how we do it, and constantly providing great insight from what they see on the, post go live end, as far as how the site is performing and what's working for them. And also what they see in a lot of the tools that we use for evaluating, performance of sites, so that we can filter that down and continue to improve our product, just at the gate.
There's one element within what you just said that I think, if you didn't hear it or you kind of glanced over it as the listener, it would really be a discount to what you and your team do. You had mentioned writing dental content 5 days a week. What that allows us to do is, number one, we're not constantly trying to go from one topic or one industry to another. We get a sense of knowing, what we're talking about in the industry, but also there's some insight that you guys can provide our dentists that goes beyond knowing what these dental topics are, right? It goes beyond explaining what an implant is. And we have the experience and understanding and really know-how of what the patient is responding to on other websites. And by looking at what the patient's responding to, we can tailor our content not only to be accurate and engaging, but also getting people to actually give us a call or submit a form. So I think you guys do a wonderful job at that. And I just want to make sure that people understood, how important that element of what you do is to their overall success and future success.
Yeah, absolutely. And that element combined with, writing a good original content is what we are constantly trying to balance well for the client. And we work with the clients so they can understand that, there's sort of a method to the madness in terms of how and what we write. We pay close attention to the market, as a team, as a company, not just, the small content team, but, through the wisdom of the marketing team and the SEO team in terms of what they see and what could help to improve that down the road. So.
Awesome. So final question for you. I mean, as far as your department and overall focus in the new year coming up, I mean, what do you see as some of the main sort of elements that we're going to be focusing on to improve our client performance in 2020?
As Kelly mentioned before, we've just come out with, at the end of this year, we've just gone in and recoded the way the navigation in the top part of the website appears in mobile. This is in response to the recent, and by recent I mean over the last year or so, it's been building a couple of years changes within Google that has put mobile first, and mobile first continues to evolve both in terms of the code of the site as well as the content, how the content is delivered. So we're always looking at new tools to answer that what Google is looking for the client. So we'll continue to develop some new designs. We always like to come out with some new looks, new ways of presenting a different user experience, based again on what we know works. The SEO team, Kelly's department, from time to time will do some research and heat mapping to see what really works within a website for a dental client. We want to understand how people interact with our websites because, as we all know as consumers, you sort of have a different way of interacting with the information on the web depending on what your goal is. Someone's going to interact with a dental website in a much different way and have different expectations than they would if they were shopping for something. So we try to keep that in mind, when we put these sites together, when we write for the sites, and also just in terms of what our long-term goals are. So we'll be coming out with that, and we've also placed a big focus on some of the different scoring parameters that Google's had put out recently, and in terms of the speed of the site when it loads. So balancing having the media and imagery that we want on sites with making sure that sites perform well in search engines so that they continue to stay at the top of organic rankings. So we'll continue to stay focused on that. We run testing and meet weekly, or at least a couple times a month as a group to kind of take a look at the results of where sites that are within the testing group, how they're performing, and make changes, and then push those changes out to the rest of the site. So we'll continue with that, and also we are taking a look at additional content that goes onto site post production, working with expanding our team that adds blogs and additional content for sites after they go live, because that's just as important to keep the site organic and changing, so that it's not sort of a set it and forget it type of site. We don't want that. We want the site to continue to evolve and change and have good original content added to it. So we're going to continue to focus on how to improve that for clients in the coming year.
No, and I think that's all great stuff, and I think one of the things that when people look at any dental site, whether it's a dentist, somebody at the practice, or even a patient, what they see is typical looking website. Some may have photos, others may have video. And what they don't understand though is what goes into the overall strategy of that website and how it actually is a product that is designed, and at least in our case, is designed to create the best possible result. And the tweaks and changes, everything from what you just mentioned, and having to adjust pictures and photos and kind of massage the speed of the site versus the elements that you would add to the site that build emotion is very tricky sometimes. And your team, I think, does a masterful job at being able to do that on a consistent basis and helping our clients get the best possible results they can get. So I appreciate the answers to your questions and everything you do for Dental Revenue and its clients.
Thanks. it's an enjoyable process as well. We are always learning all the time, and then taking what we learned and trying to integrate it into, as you said, a better product for the client.
Perfect. So Kevin, now that we've kind of discussed how we're, driving people to the site and creating awareness, and once they're to the site, all the pieces that go into getting them their calls and submit a form. Now, I kind of want to ask you some questions about the dashboard. When Brian had talked about some of our main initiatives for 2019, one of the things that was top of the list was the dashboard, and you've been spearheading this project and really has been instrumental to releasing the new dashboard. So now that it's recently launched, what inspired you to do this now?
Yeah, hey, Bill, and good question. I mean, I guess just kind of riding the coattails of what Kelly and Nancy and Brian have spoken about so far is there's a tremendous need in the dental market for a dashboard that can do more. Relying on certain key performance indicators like number of visitors and SEO rankings, number of leads generated, while they are all very important and it's something that we need to keep a close eye on and communicate to our clients, there's just so much more that's available now. So, we're inspired because we're very niche to the dental market. We talked about our web platform, our core marketing services, and our ability to convert through the conversion coach. So, we just wanted to kind of tap into the new resources that are available. You've got things like dynamic call tracking that are available now. That's data that can essentially, it's breadcrumbs all the way back to how that person that was searching for a dental need found their way to your website. There's the ability to track and convert these leads. One thing that we've learned over the years is, it's our job to put out a great product, to be able to be found, and to make sure that these websites and marketing programs are generating phone calls and website forms. But, what we've learned is over time is they don't always convert into new patient opportunities. So the new dashboard is going to have a lot more to offer in terms of, from the beginning to the end, what happens to that lead once it enters the dental practice, and up until it becomes an actual patient.
No, that's extremely exciting, and I know internally we've been talking about it. But I mean, what this enables our clients to do is really, and helps us as their account managers and their quasi consultants in a lot of respects. It helps us help them to get the most out of their marketing dollars. So it's extremely exciting, and the dashboard really represents the hub of everything we do. So the new dashboard is coming out, or the new dashboard is out now, and if you had to give it a theme, what would it be?
Well, I'd say if you asked me that 5 times, I'd probably give you 5 different answers. But for the sake of this call, let's go with progress. Our ability to show the progression of an account is extremely important. So whether you're a dentist who just opened up a new practice, you've been open for a period of time, but you're just now getting into marketing your practice, or a dentist that's been in business for 20 years and you've been marketing the entire time, it's all about progress and our ability to show the progression of an account. So, there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to your program, whether it's the website itself, whether it's the online performance of it, or whether it's you and your staff and the way that they're handling leads. And as you hear, that's becoming a common theme. We just need to, over the course of working with the client, be able to show them the progression of that account. Whether it's adding or removing services, again, whether it's you're brand new to the market or you've been in the market for a while, it's just ultimately going to be about the progression of that account.
No, I think that's great, because we do have clients that come to us and different sort of timelines of where they are as a practice, and as you said, if you're a new practice or you've been in the market for a while, or you've now found that your market is becoming more and more competitive, our programs can help. And what we're also seeing within our dashboard is the ability to help the group practice as well. And that's not necessarily the 200 location DSOs, but dentists that have been successful over the years that may add a practice or two over time, and our program really is scalable around that. So the dashboard is a big part of that, and that progress and the ability to show that progress is extremely important. So of the new features, Kevin, what are you most excited about?
I'd say there's probably two, Bill. So we talk a lot about dental revenue being a niche dental marketing company. We've been doing this for a long time. We've worked with a number of different practices, probably well over 1,000 different dentists. And the data that we've collected over the years gives us the ability to kind of create our own key performance indicators. So while it's great to have Google Analytics data, what type of visitors are you getting? We've now compiled enough information to kind of have our own indicators. And a couple of them are, one that we refer to as the dental revenue health meter. And our clients will learn more about this as the new dashboard goes live and we start to have review calls. But it's really our knowledge, our intellectual property that's given us the ability to create a scoring model to give an overall grade on somebody's marketing health. I'd say that coupled with our DR SEO score, which is another one of our indicators, but it's our ability to take, top 5 services related to a dental practice, follow those keyword search rankings, and compare them collectively where they are now compared to where they were before they worked with dental revenue.
No, I think in both of those fall nicely into a theme that we talk about a lot, and that's how do we leverage 12 years of experience working with dentists within this niche to help our current clients get better results and our future clients get better results quicker. And I think that whether it's the health meter or the SEO indicator, I mean, all of these things are extremely important to our ability to learn from our past mistakes or past struggles and learn from our successes and take the successes and what we've learned and replicate it over and over again to get the results we're looking to get. So I'm extremely excited about what you and your team have done, and extremely excited in what this means to dental revenue as a whole and its clients. So, great work with that, and I'm looking forward to 2020 with it.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks, Phil.
Perfect. So Ariel, I want to introduce you and kind of what you're going to be talking, or I'm going to be asking you about today. But there's a concept that we use internally here at Dental Revenue, and we call it Intel. And so as we talk about Intel, can you first share with our listeners kind of what that means to Dental Revenue and why it's so important to the successes of our programs for our clients behind
Absolutely.
the scenes, really?
Sure. Yeah. So, the gathering of intelligence actually, begins well before the client even signs on to work with us. We start this process at the proposal stage, really, to best establish a program, goals and expectations for our clients. When it comes to the developmental stage of a marketing strategy, there are so many elements that could have a potentially positive or negative effect on the success of our program. So market size, population density, whether or not there's corporate dentistry in the market, these kind of information alongside of a comprehensive analysis of the competitors in the client area are all things we need to consider to decide which of our marketing services would be most successful. So by getting this intel on our client practices, we are hoping to address potential challenges in order to determine solutions throughout the program. So it's our way of staying proactive as opposed to reactive for our clients.
And can you tell us a little bit about how we choose the the points of emphasis, the points of intelligence that we're collecting?
Sure. Not only is the intelligence used to develop the type of program, but also to get consistent performance results. So, for example, it's really important that we are aware of whether or not a practice is in network with any insurance, whether or not they've added a dentist to their practice. This type of information can easily change, the initial goals that were set at the start of the program. So in order for us to make effective modifications in how we're marketing the practice, we need to stay on top of these changes that are occurring. One of the most important data points, for example, that our intelligence team focuses on is specifically the location of a practice. For example, while a practice might be located in what is technically Charlotte, North Carolina, many times the physical location may show the majority of new patients coming in from other city zip codes. So we focus more on the zip codes that are bringing in the new patients as opposed to the city labels to help our accuracy in marketing. So a lot of times that is, reaching out to our clients to go through with them, have them gather information from their PMS systems to best assist us in focusing on, the information that will actually help the program rather than, the more, I'm trying to think of the right words here, the more broader areas such as just the city name, while a city can be large.
Yeah, and so, I mean, we talked about city, we talked about insurance, we talked about different things, and your experience, what are some of the data points that you think personally have been most interesting when you look at how these programs evolve, month after month?
Absolutely. I think that the type of dentistry that our clients are working in, we have a lot of patients, a lot of clients that are looking to get most of their new patients coming in for particular higher revenue cases. So for us to get a really good understanding of what our clients are searching for in regards to the type of patients, we need to have a good understanding of the program that we're running for them. So for us, I think that to have a good understanding with our clients for what it is, in regards to the type of patients that they're seeking, it's an ongoing conversation. A lot of times you have, the client at the initial at the beginning of the program looking for just as many new patients as they can bring in. And then over time, as they see, our success in bringing them new patients, they are able to start focusing more on higher revenue cases and, focusing in more on the type of patients that they're really, looking for to help bring up their revenue. So for us, it's really, again, just an ongoing conversation with our clients to, discuss with them their wants, their needs. When they see things that are working, a lot of times they want to put more budget into, focus into more of those areas to try and, promote more of those services that are bringing in positive results. In regards to that, it really kind of brings in the retention side of things. In order for us to keep our clients happy, we need to keep the conversation going in regards to, how happy they are with the results that are happening, the results that are coming in, so that we can continue to grow those results and to take the things that may not be working and maybe reallocating that budget into, different aspects of our program.
One of the things that I think when I talk to prospective clients, I get a chuckle the most about from them is the fact that when we do our proposals or create our agreements, we literally call them treatment plans. And I think one of the things people need to understand is we use the word treatment plan, so we use the term treatment plan, so they kind of understand how we're going about this. And in the intel, for all intents and purposes, creates their diagnosis. And that diagnosis
Exactly.
then determines what program we recommend. And then as we implement that program, it's bound to evolve and need to adjust and adapt based on the market conditions and the actual results. So you'd already kind of mentioned retention and some of the things you guys do as a team to make sure that our clients are engaged. But the question I would ask you in line of that is that's a big part of what we do. The ability to engage our clients as true partners is extremely important. And so what are some of the things you've seen over the years, I think, with scheduling these calls and the care, and what sort of are the similarities between one dentist and another that have had success as far as engagement goes?
Sure. It's actually funny that you say that in using the term, treatment plans, because one of the first calls we do have with our clients is our introduction call. And once a client's site goes live, they jump on a call with me and we review, the program. We talk about goals versus expectations. And one of the analogies that I use is, a patient walking into their office and saying, here, I've got $100,000 in my pocket. I would like you to take the teeth that I have here now and make them beautiful. And one of the things that we need to really, work on with our clients is to best understand that it's very similar, the way that they work with their patients and the way that we work with them. No amount of money can get results overnight, but as the treatment progresses, you start to notice, things working better and better and better, and taking things that, may have not worked great and, changing them around, reallocating budget, doing what we need to do to find what is, getting them good results and focusing on it. One of the most integral parts of a marketing partnership, as you know, is engagement. And as we grow, we want to make sure that we're serving each account to the best of our abilities. So our ultimate goal is obviously to keep our clients happy with a solid return on their investment. The best way for us to ensure a successful program is to stay in touch with our clients. It's different from one client to the next. We have some clients that prefer quarterly calls. Their, offices are super busy. They are interested in seeing reports to see the successes of their program. As we add campaigns to their budget, they like to see how things are going with these reports. But in regards to jumping on a phone call, they like to touch base, once every few months to take all of their reports, discuss them, think about ways that we can add to their program to continue, their growth. So we start again the process with a call introducing the client to the program, going through the goals, expectations for their first year with us. But after that, we typically have a bi-monthly call reviewing the services that we are providing as well as the results of each month's marketing campaign. And on these calls, we're not just giving the client information, but we're asking the client for updates from them. How do they feel things are going? How have they been busy? Have they been seeing more patients for a particular service we've marketing directly? And this type of information really helps us to gather the information we need to, decide on which programs we are running are most successful. So, we do focus on, all kinds of things on these calls. We look at the health meter where, we are able to see areas in which we see could be improved, things that we could suggest that in addition to their current program could, bring them better results and obviously a better return. But, having these review calls and regularly checking our intelligence to mark any changes in the practice as well as the market, we can make the necessary shifts in the program to consistently stay on top of market trends. Again, each client is extremely different in how they function as a practice. We have some much more business-minded practice owners who are looking to get on a call every few weeks. They want, they have lots of questions. They're focusing on the number of visitors to their site, the number of connections and conversions that are coming in. And we have others that are kind of relying on us to give them this information. All they know is, we're busy and things seem to be going well. So we have quite a combination of dentists and orthodontists that are, truly functioning at different levels. But, our goal is to look at each practice as its own entity. Each one is so different and we treat each one as they would like to be treated. We make sure that we are putting together a plan of action and following through with that plan by speaking with, the owners on a regular basis to ensure that the results they're looking for are the results that we are achieving for them.
From the sales side and talking in prospective clients, one of the questions I get most is probably how are we different
Welcome to
from
Dental
the next
Revenue
guy?
Live,
And I
Dental
think,
Revenue's
you know,
informational
when we
podcast.
spoke
I'm your
about,
host,
when I
Bill
was speaking to
Mulcahy,
Nancy about the
and today will be
websites
our
and kind
last
of pointed
episode of
out when people look at
2019.
websites,
So
they
I thought
just
I would
see
do a
this
little
thing
something
that they
different.
are used to seeing. They don't know what goes into it. I think one of the things
Right.
that when people look at us and kind of what makes us different, it really becomes our ability to collect data and use this intel, whether it's integrating with their patient management software to track revenue and the types of services that we're actually bringing in. All of this stuff makes us better marketers. So if we didn't go to this length, if we didn't implement all these pieces, we would literally be fishing blind. So, or fishing in the dark,
Absolutely.
I guess is a better way to say it. So we're able to shed light on so much more than our dentists before they work with us are used to. So all of this is extremely important. And I know as a company, we're extremely excited about the dashboard and our ability to understand and collect the intelligence and use that in a way to create the best possible results. So that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
I think
That's
that,
awesome.
you know, I think a lot of companies, you know, they sit down with, you know, or maybe not even sit down, but they develop a program for their clients, and that's the program they stick to. But while the world of online marketing is ever changing, so are our clients, and we're aware of that. And we want to make sure that these little changes that could potentially change the results of our program, that we're aware of that consistently. So as we continue to note the changes in our clients' practices as well as the world around them, we're able to tweak their accounts to better fit their needs, resulting in, you know, of course, a better ROI. And by our continuing, you know, to do this research, we are also finding areas to expand as well as setting achievable goals to drive up practice revenue. So by keeping them happy, the client, and with their performance and growing their lifetime value, we're actually able to take the opportunity to grow ourselves. So, you know, instituting these strategies and using the information from our data collection, we're really hoping to improve our customer experience, you know, consistently all the time and generate the best return for our clients.
Yeah, and I think that's those are very fair points. And one of the things I think we've found over the 12 years is our clients evolve. You know, for the most part, depending on the market conditions and the actual goals, you know, the first year, even 2 years are very similar from client to client. They may require bigger programs and more time invested on their side because of the competition level, but they're fairly consistent. When you start to get into year 3 or 4, some of our clients have been with us for 11, 12 years. You have to have a broader discussion of what we want their business goals to be and how we can adjust their marketing and their program around those business goals. So, you know, I think you guys do a wonderful job with the intelligence and, you know, combining that and integrating it with the dashboard and just using it or helping us use it in the best possible way. So I appreciate that update very much, Ariel. And
No problem.
I'm excited for 2020 and some of the things we're doing with that as well. So finally, guys.
Absolutely, we are too.
Yeah. So finally, guys, you know, I am sort of in charge of the sales department. And one of the things I wanted to bring to the listeners today is just some insight on some of the things we're going to be doing for our current clients in 2020. One program that's been very successful for us over the years is our rewards program. And if you don't know what the rewards program is, it's basically for anybody that you refer to us that becomes a client. It is a reward off of your monthly bill. And some of our clients have several of these. And literally for as long as your referral is a client, you will continue to get a reward for every month they're a client. So this can lower your bill. It can help you add new services. It can really just expand what you can do with us or decrease the cost of what you do with us. So what we're going to do in 2020 is just make this process as easy as possible. And we're going to have more tools available. We're going to potentially introduce an app that will allow you to quickly provide a referral, track how that referral is doing, and really give you the element of, okay, not only am I kind of giving somebody this name, but what's happening with that referral, and in some cases, how can I help to get you guys to close it? So we're very appreciative of all the referrals we've gotten over the years. It's really been one of the cornerstones of our business, and the highest compliment we can get. And hopefully in 2020, through making this easier and doing great work for our clients, we'll be able to get more than ever before. So I appreciate it very much, and let's kind of move on to our conclusion.
As we have come to the end of 2019, the first year of the Dental Revenue Live podcast is now in the books. Thanks to our guests, Cappy Sinclair, Larry Gazzardo, John Cranham, Zach Sisler, and Doyle Frino, our listeners received great insight and tips to improve their dental practices. I want to thank our clients. We have some of the best clients in the world, and without you, Dental Revenue could not exist. And finally, I want to thank Nicole Bonin. She works very hard behind the scenes to make sure these podcasts get completed and turn out the way we envision them. It is hard to believe that we're approaching 2020, but as always, Dental Revenue wishes you great success and hopes this year will be your best year. I am Bill Mulcahy, and thank you for making this a great year.